Boston Red Sox entered the 2025 season rejuvenated, feeling like they finally had life for the first time in a number of years. Mr. Henry at the helm there and their ownership group finally decided to go pen to paper and give fans what they have been longing for after losing out on key core pieces in the past, and Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts most notably. Setting the stage for a 2025 season that was headlined by including guys like Garrett Crochet that they ultimately inked on a new long-term deal, and yes, Alex Bregman to command the hot corner over Rafi Devers there for at least 1, 2, or 3 of the next couple years. And what Alex Bregman has done so far for the Boston Red Sox is something that is not getting nearly enough credit and attention, in my opinion, for a team currently sitting right around 500, which now begs the question, is Alex Bregman underpaid? He might be at $40 million AAV, but everything that he has done so far this season will have you to believe that he is going to be an absolute discount of a bang for your buck for the Red Sox, and here is exactly why. But let's take a step back as to how the Boston Red Sox ultimately landed Alex Bregman in the first place, because as we know, Alex Bregman had a long negotiation process as a Scott Boras client this past offseason, in which it felt like for a long period of time that he was going to find himself rekindling that relationship with AJ Hinch there and to sign a multi-year deal with the Detroit Tigers. There were also rumblings going on that he could find himself landing with the Chicago Cubs. Maybe the Toronto Blue Jays are going to make a run for him. Maybe this team's going to make a run for him. Maybe this team's going to make a run for him. But in the end, he signs a monster $40 million AAV deal over a 3-year span, so $120+ million total to land there in Fenway with the Boston Red Sox. And right away, a lot of Red Sox fans were ecstatic to make that big splash, but they knew that it was going to come at a lofty price. Alex Bregman is now the highest paid third baseman in all Major League Baseball for the most part on a year-by-year basis, and Bregman entered this first season with the Boston Red Sox coming off of a campaign there with the Houston Astros where he was evaluated per Fangraphs right around $33 million total as a player, meaning that technically speaking, he was not only getting an overpay, but he was getting a decent overpay at least there by the Red Sox in year one, should he put up similar production than what he has the previous couple years there with the Astros. We know he's won it all with the Astros there, cheating scale or not. He has been one of the most consistent third basemen in the game that we've seen, or at least the past half decade out of the American League, and he was coming off of a 2024 campaign that had great defensive upside, making him one of the better defenders at the hot corner in all Major League Baseball as well. Home run wise, you're still getting 20 to 25 plus home runs every season. You're getting anywhere in the 75 to 85 plus RBI category. So Bregman is doing his thing with a right around 800 or so OPS, exactly what you would expect from a rock solid third base option. But here's the thing, if you're investing $40 million plus on a year-by-year basis in Alex Bregman, he needs to perform to those expectations, if not greater. But what if I told you that already in such a small sample size, Alex Bregman is far exceeding expectations, everybody? Because when the Red Sox initially signed Alex Bregman, he had an absolutely absurd line there in 20-plus games in his career at Fenway Park. And just to remind you all how elite he is, he's in pretty much a class of his own. In a 21-game sample size and just under 100 play appearances, there's been no opposing batter who has fared better at Fenway than, yes, Alex Bregman. An absurd 7 home runs, 375 on the average, and over 1,200 OPS, setting the stage for Alex Bregman to go out and ball out there at Fenway. But what if I also told you that Alex Bregman is not off to just a tremendous start throughout the first 2 months of this calendar season for the Red Sox, but that he's actually faring better on the road than he even is at home? Yes, you heard that correctly, everybody. If you take a look at his split so far this season across 23 games at home, 24 games at home and 24 games on the road, Alex Bregman so far this season has found himself in the category with the actual whopping of, I'm sorry, what? Yes, a 273 average and a 915 OPS throughout those 24 home games at the time of this video being recorded. On the road, he's at a 330 batting average and a 991 OPS, so he has not only been as good as he's been at Fenway, but better. Alex Bregman is off to a roaring hot start throughout the first 2 months of the season, everybody, to the point that he is not only balling out looking great defensively and offensively, making Rafi Devers all the more frustrated by the day, it seems, there with Devers having command DH. Just don't ask him to play first base because we all know his answer is going to be what it is there. But Alex Bregman comes in right away and he makes an immediate impact. We're already looking at 11 home runs, 32 runs scored, 35 RBIs, a .303 average, a .386 on base, and a .569 slug for 65% better than the average batter in baseball. Just to share context, the last time that Alex Bregman averaged that kind of rate on the WRC Plus per weighted runs created plus, which means in simple terms for those that don't know, per Fangraphs on their website, if you were on a grade scale out of a 100 as a batter, meaning that if you were below 100, you are below league average, and if you're above 100, you are above league average. All the more reason as to why a guy like Aaron Judge just makes no sense, as he's consistently 100% plus above league average as a batter. But Alex Bregman is no slouch whatsoever in this category. He has not put up these numbers since the 2019 Juice Baseball era season with the Houston Astros, where he had a whopping 41 home runs, 122 runs scored, 112 RBIs for an absolutely absurd season there, an 8.3 WAR year. What if I told you that Alex Bregman is well on his way to have his best season pretty much since then? And no, that isn't much of an understatement. In 48 games this season, he has been a total of 2.4 WAR, which in comparison to his final year with the Astros at 4.2 tells you that he's already over halfway there to being as valuable as what he was in his walk year there for the Houston Astros. The same man who's averaged right around 23 to 26 home runs each of the past 4 seasons or so is well on his way to have the most home runs he's had since, again, the Juice Baseball era with the Astros there in the late 2010s. And now, to add insult to injury for fans out there that firmly believe that Alex Bregman is not an underpay but rather an overpay, this is exactly how we know Alex Bregman has been underpaid at this point and what it will likely be by the end of the season. And I don't say this meaning that you got to give the guy millions of dollars more, obviously, but rather the Red Sox really took a gamble here on a high AAV over a short-term deal, and they're absolutely getting a great bang for your buck, because per Fangraphs, they have great information that relays to you exactly how much a player is worth on $1 million value on a year-by-year basis. And if we start in the 2019 season, Alex Bregman was worth $66.6 million from that huge, monstrous offensive year. In 2020, in the shortened campaign, that obviously dropped to just $10 million. Then in 2021, $17 million. 2022, $43 million. 2023, $36 million. 2024, $33 million, and now setting the stage for 2025. We're not even 50 games in the season, folks, at the time of you guys watching this video right now, and he's already worth roughly $20 million. Alex Bregman is well on his way to have the most valuable season that he has had again since either what we saw there in, say, the 2022 season when he was at $43 million, but no, he's on pace to have a $55 to $60 million worth of a season, telling you that he is well on his way to actually be an underpay for a Red Sox team at 40 mil AAV. It's kind of crazy to wrap your head around, but that is in fact true. And if Alex Bregman can keep up this offensive pace, even if the average dips down a little bit and maybe gets below 300, because I don't necessarily anticipate that to stay consistent all year long, but if he just continues to prove his power, his gap-to-gap ability, his clutchness at times, and also rock-solid defense when he's right out of the hot corner, you have yourself an absolutely brilliant weapon in a win-now stage for a Red Sox team that's trying to balance the veterans there with the youth, especially guys like Christian Campbell, Mr. Roman Anthony, and Marcelo Meyer knocking on the door. It's imperative to have guys here who can help balance things out. And as Bregman famously said heading into the season, he loves the core 3 of those prospects between Anthony, Campbell, and Marcelo Meyer, especially what they can bring at the MLB level. So he's really looking forward to seeing them blossom. And if the Red Sox are going to get anywhere this season to hopefully make playoffs for their case or the years going forward, it's going to be with guys like Alex Bregman helping lead the way. Now, if there's one counter that you can make towards Alex Bregman in today's video, it's the fact that there's one thing that he hasn't necessarily lived up to the expectation, or at least hasn't hit the dollar amount on, that has been his clutchness to a degree. The Boston Red Sox, at the time recording this video, are right around a 500 ball club, as they're actually playing my New York Metropolitans in the series at the moment. But that doesn't change the fact that Bregman, at the time of this video coming out right now, when we've seen him with runners in scoring position, has put up a respectable 263 average with an 814 OPS. With men on base in general, he's batting a fantastic 292 average with a just under 860 OPS. But then when we look in high leverage situations in general, what we have seen from him has not been as strong. A 225 average and a just under 700 OPS. So if there's anything that you're going to go out your way to maybe nitpick your guy Wardy here on, it would be the simple fact that yes, Alex Bregman has not necessarily been the most clutch and high leverage, in which the Red Sox have lost a lot of key one-run ball games throughout the first course of the first 2 months of the season. Needless to say, though, Alex Bregman, all things considered, has not only been fantastic in his immediate impact for the Boston Red Sox, but is absolutely not just bang for his buck, but is truly Underpaid. Baseball fans, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below on Alex Bregman, especially if you're a Red Sox fan or opposing fan or just a baseball fan in general that wants to share their opinions. Drop them down below. Thank you all so much for the endless support here, everybody. Help us get to our next subscriber goal here of 2,000+ on the platform. We've already hit over 1,000 just over a month or so making content here, just 1 or 2 videos a week. And we have another video dropping for you guys later on this week, so be on the lookout for it. Check out the previous content regarding guys like Javi Baez, Pete Armstrong, and Trent Grisham if you haven't already. And thank you again so much for watching for our latest WardyMLB video here presented by Stark Raving Sports. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Thank you again.